Good morning or afternoon or evening, whenever you are watching this video. This is going to be our wall practice for the month of March. So we're going to start on our mats. I would recommend starting close to a wall. We're not going to be on the wall to start. We're going to do a little bit of stretch before we lay down, and then we'll be on the wall for a little bit, and then option to pull back from the wall and close in Shavasana down on your mat. So a wall yoga class is a really great option when you're needing to kind of calm, ground in and center, which I know is similar to all yoga classes, but it's really meant, as we put our legs up the wall, it's really meant to help slow down our heart rate, and it supports regulating your nervous system, kind of clearing your mind and getting the blood flow moving so that you're able to recenter, if that makes sense. So a wall yoga is a great class anytime, but if you would like to use it for those kinds of things, then this would be a really good either early morning class, just a gentle stretch, or a late evening class before bed to calm before you go to sleep. So we are going to start in a comfortable seat, however that looks for you. So you could do crisscross, you can do half lotus, however that looks for you. And we're going to put hands on our knees and then start to rock side to side and just lift your sit bones as you rock side to side so that you really can ground in the most parts of your sit bones into the mat before we get started. More contact space from your body to the mat. And then when you're ready, we're going to start to inhale normally, not manipulating your breath in any way, but inhale and sit up nice and tall as you inhale. Lift the shoulders, just kind of move them around. And then as you exhale, stay strong, tall, nice long spine, but soften the edges. So as you exhale, find that your side body just kind of softens and releases and settles. And then just kind of move your head a little bit. Make those adjustments that feel good to you. Nice. Okay, so we're going to start to bring the inhale and exhale to counts of 4. So we're going to do this for a minute here. It's called box breathing. And we're going to add movement while we do it, but we'll take a couple of breaths first without the movement. So if you're sitting here in your comfortable seat, you're sitting nice and tall. Shoulders drop down away from your ears. Crown of your head reaches up to the ceiling and eyes close. Our box breathing will take to a count of 4. So on your box breathing, you think of it as a square. So all sides are equal. So there's 4 parts to this. There's an inhale for 4 counts, and then you pause at the top of that inhale for 4 seconds. Then you exhale for 4 seconds, and then you pause for 4 seconds. So there's an inhale, 4 seconds, hold for 4 seconds, exhale 4 seconds, pause for 4 seconds. So we'll do this together. Bow your head just a little bit, enough that your shoulders still drop. Meet me at the bottom of an exhale here. And then on your next inhale, breathe in for 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold it. 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale nice and slow. 3, 2, 1. Hold it. 4, 3, 2, 1, inhale, 2, 3, 4, hold, exhale, hold, 2, 3, 4, exhale, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4. 2 more times. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, exhale, 2, 3, 4, and hold, 2, 3, and 4. One more. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, exhale, 2, 3, 4, and hold, 2, 3, 4. Nice. On your next breath, return to your normal breathing. Roll the shoulders up, back, and down the spine. Big shoulder circles. Drop your right ear to your right shoulder. Drop your left ear to the left shoulder. Shoulders are still moving backward, up, back, and down the spine. And come up to center. Roll the shoulders back, up, and forward. So opposite direction here. This one always feels a little bit more wonky to do for some reason. Drop your right ear to right shoulder. Left ear to left shoulder. Nice. Stop there. Rock back on the hips. Switch your legs. So whichever leg was on top, you're going to switch. So this one might be a little bit tighter, a little bit more uncomfortable, just because we don't out of habit sit with this leg on top. So find your comfortable seat. Now we're going to add that box breath with the shoulder movement. We won't worry about the head unless you want to, but so from here, let the hands rest on your knees. Meet me at the bottom of an exhale. Good. Start to roll the shoulders. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Again, inhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Okay, we're going to go again. Now we're going to do 2 of those box breaths with shoulders going forward. So shoulders go back, up, and down. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Nice. Bring your chin to your chest. Just let the forehead come down. Feel the stretch in the back of your neck. The shoulders are still hanging heavy, so you should feel that space between the neck and the shoulders, and then the stretch in the back of the neck. Nice. On your next inhale, sit up nice and tall if you're not already. And let the chin come up to the ceiling. Big stretch through the front of the neck. And then come back to a neutral spine. Nice. Okay. So we are going to move over to a wall. So I'm going to use the window wall behind me so that you can see what my legs are doing, but I'll also kind of move side to side so that you can see different angles. So you're going to want a portion of the wall to where when your legs go up and you put one leg all the way down and out to the side, you'll be able to, like, your leg will be able to go all the way down. The other thing is you're making your transition to the wall is grab either a yoga block, a couple of pillows or something, because if your leg does not go all the way down to the floor, then you'll want something to go under your leg to support it as it's stretching. So let's make that transition. I wish you guys could see behind me. There's like a whole group of deer that are hanging out in the backyard this morning. So the key to finding this spot and getting into this spot is lowering down and coming to sit on your side with one hip as close as possible to the wall. So when you come to sit down, you'll sit down like we were just sitting, but your left or right hip, it does not matter, is touching the wall or as close to it as possible. And then as you sit down with that hip next to the wall, then you'll kind of lay down and turn at the same time so that your legs are up the wall. So go ahead and have a seat. Yeah, move my plants out of the way too. I didn't think about that. And then as you have your seat, so I'll show you, you haven't gotten there already. One hip is touching the wall. And then as I lay down, I'm laying down, my legs come up, and then you just scoot, scoot, scoot until your booty is on the wall and your legs are up the wall. Okay, so from here, this is kind of us just getting into this posture. I want your legs to be up the wall, and then you're just going to roll on your ankles. This will also help you scoot toward the wall and massage out the low back a little bit. Okay, so we're going to start with a gentle stretch. So a wall yoga class is kind of similar to a yin yoga class in that we're not doing a whole bunch of postures. We're just doing a few that are going to give us a good deep stretch. So from here, your legs are going to start to pull down, knees in toward the chest, and then your feet are going to come flat onto the wall. So your knees are going to be into the chest, feet are flat on the wall. So maybe your feet are up here and the knees are not super close into the chest. Just pay attention to how your hip flexors are feeling to determine how far in toward the chest your knees are coming in. So a couple of options for the arms before we settle in for about 2 or 3 minutes in this posture. So the knees are in toward the chest. The upper body, couple of options. The arms can come out to a T. The arms can come up to goalpost arms, or cactus arms, they're called too. The arms can reach up overhead. Choose one of those options that feels good for you, and then allow the body and the mind to settle in. So this nice gentle stretch to start us off. It's a really good stretch through the glutes, through the back of the legs, the low spine. Start to think about an intention that you'd like to set for these next few stretches. Maybe since we're slowing down the physical body, your intention is something like staying present, staying focused, being intentional. Take a second to notice your breath. As we've stopped manipulating it in that box breath, or stopped to focus on a longer inhale or exhale, notice your breath, and if you're still breathing deep into the belly. So sometimes when we bring the knees into the chest, we tend to shorten our breath because we have or legs and knees pushing in toward the chest. So just notice, observe, and see if you can deepen and lengthen that breath. One more minute here. Start to make your way, legs back up the ceiling. Okay, so now we're going to take that same stretch, but we're really going to focus on opening up the outside of one hip flexor at a time. Okay, so from here, we're going to take the right foot back down onto the wall, the same place that it was for that last posture with the knees into the chest. And then this left leg is going to go a couple of different options. So you will choose what you like. Let the left knee either cross over the left leg cross over the right knee. That's going to be the most intense stretch as far as the glute. This is less in the hip flexor, more in the glute. It also is going to be the most compression pulling in toward the chest and the belly. So if you prefer not to do this, then we're going to slide this calf onto the knee so that our ankle is now on the knee. So this is, think of it as a figure 4 shape. Okay. So this is going to turn that stretch from a glute stretch into a glute and hip flexor stretch. Okay. When I first get into this posture, I like to rock gently left to right, just to kind of ease into this stretch. And then start to find some stillness. And then wherever you had your hands, your arms the last time, I would encourage you to go somewhere different this time. So for me, I had my arms out to a T. So this stretch, I'm going to go into goalpost or cactus arms. So if you have your knees stacked or legs crossed like you would sit in a chair, then, or if you have them in this figure 4 shape, I want you to think about this left foot. I want you to flex it back toward the shin. Okay, so that's also going to activate and fire up the back of this left leg. Depending on the time of day and the amount of flexibility that you're feeling, the tightness in that left glute and the left hip is going to dictate how much you're pulling this foot into the shin and how comfortable you're feeling in this stretch. So to take some intensity out of it, if you want to kind of back off of it a little bit, just slide that right foot up higher. And that right foot going higher is going to pull this figure 4 shape away from your chest, release some of that pull and pressure in the leg. So find that spot where it's a good active stretch, but not painful. But it takes some effort. So find that edge. One more minute here. Again, noticing the breath. Has the breath moved up into the chest? Is it short and shallow? Or does the breath come down from the belly? It's deeper, it's longer into the diaphragm. When you're ready, release that figure 4 shape. Both legs are going to go back up the wall. And just notice the difference in the legs now, in the hip flexors and in the legs. Already starting to feel difference here on this left side, since that was the focus of what we opened up just a second ago. Then when you're ready on your next exhale, now the left foot comes down. Again, notice where you want to put your left foot for that adjustment and the intensity of this stretch. And then when you're ready, the right knee will cross over, or the right ankle will cross over. If you're doing this stretch in the morning, your left foot is probably going to be higher up the wall, just because it's such a big stretch for early in the morning that your hips and your low back might not be ready for it. So just know that. Don't try to push it. You definitely want to bring effort to it, but not push. Okay, gentle rocks side to side. And then pause, find stillness, pull those right toes back towards your right shin, engage that whole lower right leg up into the right hip. And then I would encourage your arms to go the opposite direction or a different direction as where you've had them. So like I've had my arms out to a T, I've had them in goalpost arms. So this time I'm going to bring them up overhead. Notice your breath. Breathing deep into the belly, nice long inhales. Few more breaths here. The mind starts to wander. Bring it back to that intention of class. Staying focused, staying grounded, staying intentional, or whatever it is that you chose that brought you to your mat today. And then when you're ready, gently bring that right leg off the knee. Let both legs come up high, up long up the wall. And we're going to do two more postures. And then we'll come into our resting posture for Shavasana. So in this posture, legs up the wall, we're going to keep one leg up the wall and we're going to let one leg lay down. So let's start with left leg up the wall, stays up the wall, and flex the left toes back towards your face. Then on your next exhale, flex the right toes back towards your face and let that right leg slide all the way down on the right side until the right leg either hits the floor or your block or your pillow or whatever it may be. So I'm going to scooch a little bit here so that I can get mine. So that left leg goes up the wall, right leg comes all the way down to the side. So just notice if that right leg is not coming all the way down to the wall, then grab your block. You can set it on the highest setting, depending on your mobility right now. Highest setting, middle setting, lowest setting. So if you put it out, leg up the wall, left leg up the wall, right leg down, let your leg rest on that block. That's just going to allow your low back, your hips, and everything to relax. Settle into that stretch. If you don't need the block, that right leg comes all the way down. Left leg stays up. Let the openness from the right leg stretching, flexing, pulling those toes back towards the shins on both feet engages the full muscle, all the muscles in the back of each leg. Instead of releasing it, we're keeping it engaged by flexing those toes back. Again, bringing your mind to your intention. And when you're ready, bringing that right leg back up to meet the left. So you can use your right arm to support that change. Hug the knees into the chest, just gentle here. A little rock side to side, just get to kind of massage out the low spine and back. Find your neutral spine between those sides. Because when we lay that one leg down to one side, we kind of shift our hips a little bit. So just a little rock side to side so that we're in a neutral spine. And then that left leg and right leg are going to go up. Flex the toes back towards your face. Right leg stays up tall. Left leg goes down to the floor or down to your block. Flex the toes. Feel that engagement. So that lower left leg is not only feeling engagement from behind the leg as we pull our toes toward our shin, but also in that hip flexor and inside of the leg. And again, your arms, find that placement that works for you. Maybe return to one of those postures that feels particularly good as you're laying here. Push through the heels as you flex those toes back for a couple last breaths. And then when you're ready, using your left hand with the left leg, gently bring the left leg back up to meet the right, and then slide those feet down the wall, just gently, so you hug the knees into the chest, gentle rock side to side. So this last posture here is going to be our Shavasana posture. So you have two options that I'll share, but you can choose to do anything that you like for this Shavasana. So an option is going to be, the first option I would recommend, it's going to be just legs up the wall, both legs up the wall. Releasing the feet, we're not flexing or holding back, we're just letting the toes point up, releasing that ankle space so that our legs are engaged to keep them up the wall, but our feet are relaxed. And then if you prefer not to do legs up the wall, then you can push yourself back up off the wall and come to lay down. In your neutral Shavasana. So legs are extended out long on the mat. Sometimes in a wall class, if we're doing a lot of leg stuff like we did, in Shavasana, you just kind of want your legs to extend out long. So either way is perfectly fine. Find what you would like to do, either legs up the wall or legs extended out long. And then I would encourage, bring your elbows down to the mat beside you. And then take one hand, doesn't matter which one, lay it across your belly. And then the other and lay it across your chest. So your hands won't come to center because you want your elbows to be resting on the ground. But your hands will be close in placement. And whether you have your legs up the wall or you have your legs extended out long, meet me at the bottom of an exhale here. We're going to return to that box breath for just 2 rounds. So inhale, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, exhale, hold, exhale, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, exhale, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4. Release that control over your breath. Allow the eyes to close. Allow your body to become completely relaxed. Allow each exhale to melt your body into the mat a little bit more. And allow your mind to drift away, thinking of that intention. Please stay in your Shavasana as long as you can. Just note that when you do choose to get up and close your practice, you've been laying down and on your back with legs up the wall for quite a while, so come out slowly, nice and easy. The light, joy, and love in me sees and honors that in you. Have a beautiful rest of your day, and thank you for joining me on the mat.